Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions, and we're back with the final episode of the Stoke City Vlogcast for this season. With me as always is Jan. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. Hi folks, hope you're all okay. As Josh says, the last vlog of the season.
So, Millwall, yay!
Oh,
yay! I don't know what you can actually say about it. I'm actually fed up of talking about 0-0 draws.
I don't know what you can say.
21 draws in a season.
Ridiculous.
How are you meant to be positive about that?
You just can't. I mean, the only thing I can say is that I wanted to beat them so that Rotherham didn't go down.
Yeah.
And I feel very sorry for Rotherham.
I mean, if anything, they played well against us in the two games, Rotherham, so that was part of my backing for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have got that a little bit of a funny feeling with Millwall, but, you know, as far as the games we played, I feel like Rotherham deserved it more.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously the league table doesn't lie, but still, that was just personal feeling.
Yeah. But other than that, folks, I think we've got to draw a line under it because there's just nothing to say about the match.
I mean, Jones said that we should have had a penalty, but I'm at the point, really, especially in this season, where it's like ifs and buts and coconuts, you know, it's like I'm actually fed up with the excuses now, you know, and even if they are genuine, you know, it's a bit like last season under Lambert. There was a point when he was saying, oh, we should have had a penalty, you know, and this, and I was actually willing to give him a bit of time with luck, but there's a point when you just get fed up with giving managers time, and it's not...
Sorry, Josh.
By time, I mean like time as in to make excuses, you know. I'm just a little bit fed up of hearing them. I'm still backing Jones. Don't get any of that misconstrued. It's just...
Well, I was just going to say, we back him, obviously, don't we?
Yeah.
But I'll give him the shadow of doubt that this season he hadn't got his players.
Yeah.
But come next season, and if things are still the same, then I'm sorry, he doesn't get a second chance.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously give him time at the start of the season. You know, it's not like if we have a bad game to begin with, we're suddenly on his back. But again, unlike this season, them opening games, even if we don't get the results, we need to see what he's working towards.
Yeah.
Because that's what I have not been seeing, and I need to see that. It's like this Millwall game. There wasn't anything I could glean from and say, oh, you know what, we're trying this. Or, you know, maybe... We just need to see more, and it's what we're struggling with.
I mean, listening to the radio, which I did with the match, and I honestly think that players are just playing where they want to, because you hear that somebody's on a right back, and then the next thing they're on the other side, and you think they're just swapping and changing wherever they want to go. I mean, that was just an example.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think that
we need consistency with team selection, and I think when he's got his own players then it will help, but to be honest I'm holding fire on some of that, because the thing is there are decisions that he's made that are just rookie errors. Ashley Williams at right back, I will repeat, I will never forgive that, because that is criminal. You know, I would back sacking a manager over that decision, because that is just criminal.
Yeah, you don't do that. You know, okay, he played there when he was a lad, but that was when he was a lad. He's a pensioner now in football terms.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I know he got an assist in that game, but he was also in that defence when we conceded 2 against Rotherham. As much as we've praised him, we were under the cosh all game against him.
I think if he got rid of that thing on top of his head, he might be able to do a bit better.
Story for another time, Doc. Millwall, I'll be honest, I haven't got much to say from a Millwall perspective. You know, I felt like Ben Marshall did well against us, which from an ex-Stokey point of view I was interested about. But besides that, none of the players really shone. I mean, Williams, for them, caught my eye, caught me ear, should I say, just for the fact that his name kept popping up, and I thought, well, he's keeping himself busy. Tunnicliffe, I think, as well, had a few touches here and there, but there was nothing of note that made me go, ooh, you know, that player, he's one to watch or one to look for. And I think they need to invest in over the summer, a bit like ourselves, if they've got any hope of improving, you know. So we'll keep an eye out as we go and do all summer, just to see how the teams next season will fare. But it's going to be interesting.
The last bit on that is must do better.
Yeah. So shall we get on to the better, which is Sheffield United? Because congratulations, Blades, you are promoted, as you know, and we are quite pleased. I mean, I'm actually glad you're promoted now than that you need to get promoted in this game. You know, I'd rather you be coming here with something to celebrate rather than worrying you might not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, let's see your stats, Duck.
Okay. Very impressive again. 125, lost 10. Drawn 10, lost 9. They've won 14 at home and 11 away. And that's impressive in itself that you can win. I don't think we've ever known it winning 11 away.
No.
They're currently, are they gone up to first position, was it?
They're second now.
Second, yeah.
But they could still win the championship if Aston Villa beat Norwich on the final day. Obviously, they didn't need details as well, sorry.
Well, I've just put here, actually, the 3 points behind Norwich, so...
Yeah.
Top scorers are Billy Sharp on 24 and David McGoldrick on 15. Just silly stats, yellow cards 46 and reds 1. Stoke stats, 111, drawn 21 and lost 13, currently in 16th. Yellows 74, reds 5. Top scorer Benny Kafobi 9, Joe Allen and Tom Ince 6. What awful flaming stats.
So, I've been reading in the last hour or so. It's Martin Smith's weekly column in the Sentinel, Solar Smudge, you might know him as on Twitter. And I'll admit, he pretty much summed up our problems, not just with financial fair play, which we'll get onto in a little bit, but in regards to the fact that as far as how to improve next season, we need to keep the defence as it is, as far as being relatively sturdy, but we also need to score about 75% more goals, as well as losing far less than what we have done. So, you know, we've got to turn them 21 draws into something more resembling 10 at the least, at the most. So it's one hell of a job we've got on our hands.
Why has folks gone out of favour?
That I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're trying to save him for next season. Maybe it's a case of, you know, he's had a few injuries, so we're thinking let's not use him when we don't need to. But I am at a bit of a loss with that, because I can't help but wonder, if you're trying to build for next season, give the fans a glimpse, why aren't we seeing it? Yeah. So, yeah, again, I'm just a little bit baffled there, but, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Right, but I just was a bit bewildered that he didn't get in the team.
Yeah.
And you've given me a viable excuse, so I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Stoke will probably give a good performance on Saturday.
Is it bad that I hope we don't?
Well, no, not really.
It feels bad, but I'm at this point, right, where I don't feel like the players should do the lap of honour or the lap of appreciation or whatever we relabel it as.
Yeah.
I think this season has been quite the travesty. You know, considering the money we spent, I'm not necessarily talking about entitlement, because Stoke City have never had an entitlement to get promoted. But I don't think we were entitled to such a poor season if you consider how we sort of came down, and we've had a relatively strong reputation before we came down. So I feel like everything that was good about Stoke City has evaporated in the last 2-3 years. And I think Sheffield United, if they could win the championship at our place, and basically force the players from our club to say, you know what, let's just let them celebrate and we'll let the supporters go home. I think that would actually be the best solution.
Well, to be honest, my last notes that I've written are, I can't see many fans staying at all.
I mean, if we do whatever they call it, the lap of appreciation on or whatever, I would be surprised if any did stick around. You know, I mean, if they do, fair play, it's your call. I'm certainly not criticising it, but
no,
you know, equally
they don't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's like I say, the difference between honour and appreciation is the fact that honour is when the players have done well, appreciation is when the fans the players want to just clap the fans. And I don't think you'd believe it with half of them, because some of them do come across as insincere, and that is what gets me.
Do you know, when they were in the Prem, I always thought that you know, I thought, just doing this because they've got to do it.
Now, I didn't get that impression, especially that era when we had like the likes of Bojan and Zonzi. You know, it was like the Three Amigos era,
Yeah.
and I felt like they actually did want to celebrate with the fans.
The one I'm picking on is Ryan Shawcross.
There was a bit of that. I mean, I think if anything, Ryan liked bringing his kid out and having a little kick about with him, and you know, I don't blame him for that. You know, maybe don't forget Ryan is a bit of an introvert. I don't think he likes spectacle. You know, and it is a spectacle as far as football goes, but. The way I see it is, just supposing we did what Leicester did and won the league, he wouldn't be frightened of celebrating with the trophy, would he? So, you know, equally, don't be so shy when it comes to that.
If you were going to the match on Sunday even, would you stay behind and show your appreciation?
Are we asking this if I went on my own? Because, you know, chances are if you were with me, we would stick around just because it'd be easier. If it was me on my own, I probably would stick around, but only because... I think to myself, they are coming, so why not? But equally, I don't blame anyone who does go.
No, I don't. I mean, I have to stick around when we go. I have to wait for the crowds to go, but
it's like
I wouldn't go near the front, put it that way. And
it reminds me a bit of a bailiff knocking on the door. You don't really want to answer because it means they're asking for something, but equally, you know, they're going to knock down the door, so you just think I might as well answer.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just maybe a silly analogy that, but it's just the idea of, you know, they're coming out, so why not just wait for them?
Yeah. Well, like everybody else, I'll be ringing up tomorrow and seeing if I can just change my seat a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just get a little bit closer to the halfway line, but who knows, maybe we might struggle.
Yeah, but they have been accommodating with me, so I'll just ask the question.
Yeah. Just as far as the rest of this episode, because I haven't actually recorded the gameplay around this for once. We are doing the recording before I do the gameplay, and I think it's important to look ahead now because yes, you know, we're sort of looking forward in a way to the end of the season, but I think next season is where it's going to be, you know, as far as we've got our eyes firmly fixed there now.
Can I go with the players out, who I think?
Sure, because we have got the players on the screen now, and we are just going to have a quick look through the roster and see, keep, sell, avoid.
Right, well, this is Mother's definitely going list.
Okay.
Juve.
I was going to say definitely going.
Definitely going Juve. Unfortunately, Charlie, I think you've had your day. Ashley Williams, bye-bye, we don't want you back. Moritz Bauer, I think should go because I don't think he fits in with us for some reason or other. I don't know if it's back room or where it is, but I don't think he fits in.
To be fair, I think he was one of the few players who came out with credit against Millwall, so you know, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think he was alright.
It's funny how he could turn it on in that game, though.
Darren Fletcher, sorry, you know, go be a pundit or something. Tom Edwards, he's got to stay. And that's about it for me. Yeah, all the others I'd like to stay.
I mean, I'm just going to go through 1 to 38 pretty much, but the way I see it, Butland I think will go. I don't think we've got a hope in hell of keeping him.
No.
Moritz Bauer, I think he'll want to go.
Yeah.
Joe, I don't think he'll ask to go, but I do believe someone will bid for him, and I think we'll sell him. Ashley Williams, bye-bye. I think it was just a poor idea to sign you all around. I'm not criticising your efforts, just I think it was the wrong club at the wrong time in your career.
Yeah.
Tom Ince, I'd keep just for the fact that I think if he's better utilised, he can be a better player for us.
But that's just according what his daddy says.
There is that element.
If Paul says he's got to go, he's got to go.
Peter Etterbo, with what
stays.
I was going to say, with what Solar Smudge said on Twitter, well, not on Twitter, on his Sentinel article, Martin Smith again, I am inclined to think that if a club bid for him, we would sell, but equally, I don't think that's something mooted like that Galatasaray deal where, you know, they couldn't get Badu and Die, so they have Etebo on loan. I would like to think the club would actually say, no, we are not allowing that.
Yeah.
You know, because I think, if anything, Galatasaray seem to think they can walk all over us. So I think that's the point where we have to say no.
Yeah.
So, I don't believe that'll happen. But if, say, someone came in with a 20, 30 million pound bid, yes, of course.
Bye-bye.
Benicophobe, that's the... You know, if you got hit, miss and maybe, I think he's definitely on the maybe pile. If someone came in with a bid, yes, he can go. If not, I wouldn't complain at keeping him. But
how old is he?
He's still young enough. I mean, look, just give me a second and I can find out. See, Benicophobe is 26. He'll be 27 next February, so he's still got time on his hands.
He's still got young legs.
Yeah,
supposedly.
So after that, we've got Sam Vokes. We've obviously just signed him, so he isn't going anywhere. James McLean, again, I'm inclined to say keep, but only because I think he could be good from the bench.
I think he's had quite a good couple of games.
I think McLean is better when he's not relied on to score. You know, 'cause that is the biggest criticism people throw at him. He doesn't create and he doesn't score. So for me, the biggest thing there is don't put him in a position where he has to do that. Play him at left back or left wing back, as it will most likely be.
I was just going to say wing back.
So just that's my thoughts there. Josh Tyman, I think he needs a loan spell. I think he needs to go out for a year, preferably to a League 2 club, and allow him to grow as a player. Let him do what Harry Suter and all the others have done on loan this second half of the season. So Josh, it could be a big season for you if you go on loan. Danny Bart, obviously, I think he'll stay, and I think he'll be a big player for us next year. Then we've got Bruno. I think he'll likely leave. I think there's a chance that, you know, if someone wants him from abroad, he'll go.
How old is Bruno?
Let's have a look again. I don't think he's that old. 27. So he's again.
I wish we could keep him.
I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't push him out the door, but equally, I think if he wanted to go, I wouldn't stop him either.
Yeah.
So from there, we've got Charlie Adam. I think he's gone. I actually feel a bit sorry because when Jones came in, I thought he was going to have a renaissance, you know, late career revival. It just hasn't happened.
Feel sorry for Charlie because he has done good for this club.
Yeah, I think as well, Jones respected him a bit more than Rowett did.
Yeah,
you know, and I think considering what he's done for Stoke, that is a fair thing. You know, even if you don't like what he's done in recent years, respect his role here for what he has done. So after that, we got Ryan. I certainly wouldn't push him out. No way on God's green earth would I do that. But equally, if Ryan said, you know what, you bring in these young centre-halves in, if I get an offer from a club that I particularly fancy playing for, will you let me? I'd say yes, but that is literally last priority. You know, it's got to be if Ryan asks, and I don't think he would. So
I just think that him and Bart will have a really good partnership.
Yeah, I mean, we're hopeful.
Yeah.
Just carrying on the list, we've got Monberam Diouf. I agree with Mum, just get rid. You know, I appreciate Diouf for his goals in that 2014-15 season, if I'm remembering right, when he got 12, I think, with John Walters. But, bye-bye, Mum. After that, we've got Berahino, out the door as fast as you can. Sam Klukas.
He's at a mess, isn't he?
I think if he was involved off the bench, I'd like him more, because I think he can actually be more of a destructive force in the midfield, in the sense that, say we were 1-2-0 up and you just wanted to steady the midfield, I think he'd be a good option.
Yeah.
Or if you've got a midfield battle where you need combatants, I think he's an option.
Yeah.
But when you need creativity, he's not the man. So I think he's an option to keep, but again, if he was sold, I wouldn't be crying.
Yeah.
Darren Fletcher, I've got great admiration for Fletcher for all he did with his illness. I've said this in previous episodes, but just retire, Darren. I think it's for your own sake that you should do that.
Yeah.
You know, if you think I'm wrong, you know, I'd be honoured to receive a message off you. Right, Bojan, I'd sell, and it hurts me to say, but I think he's becoming more of a problem than a help. You know, people are asking, where's Bojan? And the question should be, why isn't Bojan good enough?
Yeah,
you know, and I think people aren't asking that because they want him to be good enough. And
he was all right with the Arnie and,
he was better when he had better
Munye's,
players around him.
yeah,
So, yeah, I feel sorry for Bo. I greatly appreciate him being at this club. I think he is one of the biggest names we've had,
yeah.
at least in the last decade or two. But, you look at it and you think, time to move on, Bo.
Yeah.
Then Jacob Hogard, see ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Tom Edwards, I'd literally get nails and tie him down to the Bet365 floor if it meant keeping him. So, yeah, Tom, you're not going anywhere. Tybalt, I would go just a sentiment under that. I would fight tooth and nail to keep him. I don't think anyone will be racing to grab him, but if someone did, I would be fighting tooth and nail to keep.
Yeah, yeah.
Adam Federici's a good backup. I wouldn't like him to start. If Jack's sold, I want a replacement. I don't want Federici to be number one.
Yeah.
But I'd keep. Lasse Sorensen, happy to keep him.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs a loan spell, but I'd keep him. And Nathan Collins, I wouldn't be against him having a loan spell, but I would like to see him in the first team as well. So maybe half a season at the start of next year. And
so if you don't agree with any of them, just let us know. That's the first team choices.
Yeah, I mean, just to wrap up, because there are a few more, and I think these are maybe the more crucial names. I mean, for instance, we've got Eric Peters here, and this was quite interesting the other day. The Sentinel did a thing of there are 4 players on loan, and Jones has alluded to 2 of them not being welcome back. And I think Peters must be one of them. I get the feeling Peters, day one, did something to irritate Jones, and they fell out. So I think Eric has gone. And then after that, it's between Badou Ndiaye, Gianelli and Bula, and Kevin Vimmer, who Jones believes is not welcome back. So that is going to be tricky to work out, but if that's the case, I'm actually curious what the other 2 haven't done to sort of given Jones the reason to offer an olive branch.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see on that one, but personally all 4 can go in my view. It's if Jones doesn't like Peters, unfortunately I don't mind Eric, but if he's upset Jones, sorry, you gotta go. Cameron, he can be sold. I don't really mind about Jeff leaving. Again, he did well for us, but I think he upset the apple cart somewhere, and I think if that's the case,
he's out of favour and out of the club.
Then the final names on this list are interesting. We've got Tyrese Campbell and Harry Suter, both who we should keep. And we've got Julian Ngoy. And I had a discussion with about Julian on Twitter. People were saying he was unfairly loaned to Grasshopper. And I think, well, why didn't the club push for him to go to a League 2 or League 1 club? Why did we push him out essentially to Grasshopper? Yeah. Why not keep him at the club to develop? And for that reason, I believe the club themselves don't rate Julian. I mean, someone actually someone tweeted about Julian, and he actually got a like off Julian about it, as if to say, yeah, I agree with you, I think it is harsh how I went there, and maybe Julian knows something that, the rest of us don't know. But I am curious what happens with him over the summer, because he doesn't seem like he'll be staying at Grasshopper. So what happens at Stoke, we'll soon find out.
I just wish that people would be honest with the supporters, the backroom staff, whoever, would be honest with us and say, Peters is going because of this.
Yeah.
Camera's going because of that. And I think that we should have an explanation of why these players are going.
Well, the retained list will be announced in due course. That's essentially the comings and goings. And to be honest, I don't think it'd hurt to do an add-ons to that and say, like you've suggested, this player will be leaving and this player will be leaving. We aren't specifying why, but they are free to look for clubs.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd hurt, because that way the supporters know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The players themselves will have been informed, so they know what the case is. They aren't going to be welcomed back for pre-season or whatever the circumstances are. So I think it'd be good for all parties if there was a statement on that matter, just to remove ambiguity.
Well, it saves all this, Chinese whispers of why everything's happening at the club.
Yeah.
And if they just come out and said why, I think to shut the fans up, like myself, and stop speculating.
Well, as far as the Stoke squad goes, that's pretty much it. I mean, after that, the only other player to mention is Ollie Shenton, in the sense that he's not really done a lot since he made his debut. And I mean, I really hope Ollie can still make it, but he's run out of time, really.
I mean, we say make his debut. He come on against Man City for the last 20 seconds, to me thoughts.
Exactly.
They just let him kick the ball.
Yeah.
And that was it, but that was through sad circumstances.
Yeah, and it's for that reason I really hope he pushes on, even if it is away from the club, because no player should be tied down in a reserve team as long as he's been.
No.
You know, I know he had that little spell at Wrexham, but he really needs a spell elsewhere now, whether it's permanent or loan.
Yeah.
You know, I dislike the idea of his career being wasted here, so I hope he goes out and does something next season.
Yeah, because he is a Stokey, and, you know, I believe that the Stokies should stay.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of our own.
I mean, again, I wouldn't push him out, but again, I want him to have his best career.
Yeah.
If he is away from here, he's got to go away from here.
Yeah, because he's getting older as he sits there, isn't he? I mean,
let me just have a look while
where
we're
is he? About 22 now.
He's 21.
Yeah.
So, you know, the way I see it is he made his debut when he was 18.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a lot of time in football not to have played.
It is.
You know, so it's like I say, I just hope that he has a move soon, because I feel like we tied him down to a contract that it was too early to give him.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just hopeful that something within the club happens to allow him to get game time, whether it's a good loan move or a permanent move.
I do, because he's been a good lad for the club.
I mean, you never hear a bad word about him. It's just the fact that, well, you don't hear about anything with the young players, really, but you just hope he has a good end to his spell here, whether it's, you know, again, he might still stay, but he would really need to have a good loan spell.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the squad, and I don't know how. I'll probably put a tally on the screen just to show the keeps, the sells, the iffy ones, but I'm going to say it did seem like there were quite a lot in the let go pile, quite a bit in the keep pile. There were only one or two iffies.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite busy in the summer, I would suspect.
Yeah.
So, well, if our hopes and expectations are accurate.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think we're going to be a bit shocked, to be honest, of what's going to come in and what's going to go out.
So what are your thoughts ahead of next season?
Well, the only thing I can say is it's got to be better than this one. I mean, this one was abysmal.
It's quite a good sum up, that. I mean, I don't know how you could say much more, you know, in the sense of it has been a dire season, you know.
But I will speculate, sorry Josh, that this isn't the worst.
Oh,
you know, and we've just got to remember that Stoke did play worse at this at one point.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I mean, it's fair to say this is the worst it's been since I've started getting into football.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a new territory for me. I mean, I'm riding with the punches. I'm not falling out of love with Stoke or anything ridiculous like that. If anything, things like this make me love it more, because it's, you know, this is the hard times, you get through it.
Yeah.
But equally, it's a case of, I am curious what we do to try and get out of this predicament we're in.
Well, I'm like a stick of rock. I've got Stoke City going all through my veins. You know, it goes through all through my body. So, you know, I will never stop loving Stoke. You know, too late in life to do that anyway. But, you know, but they've got to do better.
So, let's just put up like a scenario, okay, just for fun. You've got the first game of the season at home. Me and you are sitting in our seats, we're ready for the first game. What are you hoping to see as far as, like, performance? You know, let's just argue, right, we're playing Fulham first game of the season, you know, a relegated team, so they'll be quite strong. What would you be hoping for?
That they come out of the blocks on the whistle and not 15 to 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think that's what we all need to see. We need to see the performance.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they can't just wake up at 30 minutes mark. Them days have got to go. And Jones has got to pummel that into them. Yeah. He must notice it.
I mean, I think we say this game ended. I know we're going into theoreticals quite a bit here, but say the game was 2-2 against a Fulham of sorts, you know, in the sense of it. On paper, it sounds like a bad result, but if you could tell me that in that game we put in a good performance, we created tons of chances, and we just, you know, we just lack that finishing touch, or maybe referee decisions went against us, or just some extenuating circumstances that make you think, you know what, that player will score.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like this season where we've had that many chances at times that we just haven't scored in a brothel sort of scenario. I think if we can just have some promise.
If we could just have goals on target.
Yeah. If it looks like the...
shots on target, sorry.
If it looks like we're expected to score goals, I think we'll be happy, because we seem quite sturdy. We're not the sturdiest, but we seem strong enough in defence that if we can just score more, we'll be alright.
We've just got to show more promise. And whatever's going through Ryan Shawcross's head, he's got clear that whatever's going on. And I'm sorry I'm picking on Ryan, but I think this stems from Ryan somewhere. And he's got clear his head of whatever's going through it.
I mean, it's funny how that back injury thing happened not long after he ballsed it up. You know, I think, if anything, I wouldn't say he put the mockers on himself, but I think maybe when he said that to everyone, he was trying to convince himself there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I hadn't been given the all clear, but he had hoped it was gone, you know, and I don't know, I feel like yourself, I think he needs to really have a heart-to-heart with his family, with himself, and essentially just
with
say...
the club.
Well, the club are quite secondary in a way, because the fact is, he needs to work out what's best for himself.
Yeah.
You know, can he play at this level? You know, because if he can't, then he is, you know, pulling everyone around him.
Is it worth him retiring now through injury? And instead of putting his body through something else, you know, and him suffering in later years.
I mean, if anything, I think the only thing with Ryan is you've got the likes of Rob Huth, who are like the figureheads around him, and you've seen how they've battled on in the later stages of the career through injury, and you never know, that might be part of Ryan's thinking, that he doesn't want to let that era down, he doesn't want to succumb to injury when others battled through it, and I just hope Ryan knows what he's doing regarding it. I hope, start of the season, if he's with us, he knows he's fit. He isn't hoping he's fit, he knows he's fit.
Well, I'm just going back to my back injury. It happened when you were 2 years old. So I've had this back injury for 25 years. And I've gone all through your life struggling. So Ryan is obviously injured in some way, hurt. You know, and isn't it better in going and get it sorted out now instead of...
You yourself know, though, sometimes you can get it sorted, but it doesn't go away. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not like you can just flip a switch and it's gone, you know, have an operation. It might just be that the symptom will always be there.
I'm just thinking of his kids, you know.
Oh, yeah. This is, again, where I say he needs to have a word with his family. You know, he needs to essentially ask himself, can I carry on?
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd got to bring that up. I'm sorry, you know.
I mean, I
love Ryan.
I was just about to say, you know, we love him as a player, everything he's done for the club, and, you know, for me personally, if Ryan were to leave at the end of the season, you know, retire leave, he'll get the biggest send-off that I think anyone's had at this club, and maybe just a bit above Wilco, you know, for everything he's done. So the way I see it is, I hope he chooses carefully.
Yeah.
You know, we'll want what's best for him.
Yeah, he's got to make the right decision for him and Cass.
Yeah.
And the kids.
Yeah, so it feels like a bit of a sombre note to end the vlog on, but the fact is, we are hopeful for next season, but it's blind hope, I think.
No, I'm going to go for a top 4 finish for next season. How's that?
You're very optimistic. If I was to hope for anything, it'd be 6th. For the simple reason, going from 16th, 17th to 6th, I think is a big ask.
But we're having all these new players. You know, he says it's a whole new team.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Space.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I tell you what, if Juve is still here next season, I will personally go down there and throw him out.
Hey.
I'm going now. Anyway, I've put 2-1 for Stoke win on Saturday.
Oh, I forgot about predictions. You know what? I'm going to go 0-3. I'm going to finish the season off in style for Sheffield United.
Okay.
But honestly, thanks to everyone who's been listening to the vlog all season. It's been great making it. It's, you know, it has been a bit of a slog the last couple of weeks, but the results have not been that great. But, you know, we've enjoyed sitting here each week, talking into a microphone, and, you know, it's just been quite interesting hearing what some of your views are, so we do appreciate the viewership.
And believe it or not, folks, I am a happy person. Really. If you met me, I am really funny. But I've got nothing to be funny about.
Well, I feel like this entire season's just brought out the dry, sarcastic side of me, and I think I'd just like to actually have something to actually find amusing. I think the funniest thing I've seen this season is Charlie Adams' swan dive.
Yeah.
You know, and Junia Bakuna's own goal from halfway. You know, besides that, I don't think there's actually been anything really worth smiling about this season.
So hopefully next season you'll see a different side to me, because Stoke are going to win all these games.
And hopefully you'll just see a happier, smiling Josh, you know. I mean, to be honest, I've got plans for the vlog next season, so hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of that anyway soon.
And I'll even take a photograph when I'm at the ground so you can see what I look like.
Good.
How's that?
Don't frighten people off, Duck.
Hope I don't frighten you off like Josh says, but there you go.
Okay, so, well, as I said, thank you very much to all of you for listening. It's been brilliant doing it. See you next season.
Okay, bye folks. Have a good summer.
See you after the summer, folks. Bye for now.
Bye.